Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Sorry for the delay. Technical mishaps. Windows had decided it was time to do an update, and I guess overnight they didn't restart my computer. Thanks, Windows. Half of my stuff was working and half wasn't. But we're back. And we're back to look at some coins. Hello, Apping Chemo, and hello, Two Cookies. How's it going? Hopefully you guys can join back. And we can take a look at this price action that's going on, because we've finally got some movement. Which is great. Although, looks like my stops might get taken. Let's have a look. And if your stops have already been taken today, let's have a look at what happened. Where we went wrong. Welcome to another day in crypto. With me, Chris, Obi-Wan Assassin, Autoblock Assassin. Oh, it's a late start for me today, guys. Please excuse my lack of energy. I am battling with COVID. But I'm here today to look at some crypto, because crypto never sleeps. So we've had some movement. We have, funnily enough, Bitcoin has done exactly the thing that I said it was going to do. Funny how that happens. Sometimes. If you remember me yesterday, we were looking at the crypto charts, all of them, and I was saying I didn't want to jump in on anything until I'd seen Bitcoin come back down again. We identified in the Bitcoin chart that we had even lows right here. Get on the chart. Even lows there. And do we know what even lows means? Even lows means people, retailers, coming in, putting their stops down here, thinking the price is going to go up. But this whole section here is too close to the 50% of the price structure mark for me. It's too close. So I didn't put my orders in. I want to go deeper up here, because these stops are right in the zone that I'm interested in. And because these stops are in the zone that I'm interested in, I was pretty sure price is going to come down to this point. Price can still come back down to the bottom of this structure. It can still come all the way down here. I've got an order down here waiting for me, so I can pick those up. Right now, I am in a long. And honestly, it's not looking that great. My chart, bloody hell. Bloody hell. Sorry, I'm a bit slow today. Here we go. Chart is displaying. Alright, let me start again. Sorry about that. We identified even lows here and here in my chart yesterday. I told everybody who was watching that price, it may not come back down, but I was waiting for it to come down. I was looking at this zone for a point of entry, and I am now in this short. It's looking a bit dicey. It's looking pretty dicey, I must say. But this is the short I had on overnight. Just waiting for this to happen. If this had happened while I was awake, well, I would have waited. I would have waited for this to pull in. I was making my coffee as it dropped in. Posted this on the group that this is my area. Sure is looking quite ugly. But I think this was a necessary stop grab from Bitcoin. So what I'm thinking is we could see price bounce from here. Let's have a look at, well, this is the 15-minute. This is looking mighty shit, to be honest. I'm almost ready to call it. I'm almost ready just to call my trade and take this as a loss and wait for the price to jump down here. This is the only trade I have on. The other ones I'm waiting for at the bottom of the charts. So I'm only have this trade on here. So I'm minimizing my risk, because risk can happen. Even though I was looking at all those other charts, I only want to jump in. Well, I only want to be in on a trade that's in these zones, like one trade only. I don't need to multiply my risk by 3, 4, 5, or 6. And now we get to excitedly watch what happens over the next few minutes of trading. At this point, it'd probably be a good idea for me to cancel this trade out and just watch this price structure. Oh, thanks, TradingView. Cyber Monday is here, 60% off. We will never offer this deal again until next year. So I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to take this trade off. I'm going to go to market. Having lost, quite a substantial amount of my stop loss there, but not the full amount. I mean, losing half is better than full. I'll wait for this price to bounce around, and then I'm going to jump back in. Pretty shit, honestly. Shit start to the day. But this does happen. We can get we can get a better entry for sure. We can get a much better entry. I'm surprised it went this low. I haven't cancelled it just yet. I'm just contemplating. I mean, I'm so close to hitting the stop loss anyway. At this point, I might as well keep it. May as well keep it. Because at least I'm in it. I did my TA. The TA was done. It's not hit my stop loss yet. It's not hit that point. It's hit that even low point. And that even low point, oh, let's have a think about that. Alright, if there's a low point here and we're hitting that point here, it must mean people are coming in and putting their stops here. Which could mean a bigger dive if smart money's hungry today. If those institutions are taking positions, which I would be if I was them. This is kind of the lowest that Bitcoin's been for a while. It might be a good opportunity for a great long. Let's have a look at the higher time frame. I'm gonna sneeze, hold on. Ah, bloody COVID. Well, I'm stuck at home, so I may as well be looking at charts, right? Up here in Queensland, we're having a big COVID, what would you call it? Resurgence? Alright. I mean, I'm going to keep this, because looking at this chart, this is where I thought it was going to bounce. Okay, but this is a good example of when it is better to be watching your zone versus when it's better to actually have that trade in ready to go. And that's honestly something that I want to work on. Because my coach is watching price action. He'll have a big trade like this on, which I do have, and I think in a sub account he's waiting for that price action, and that's what we'll do. I've got a sub account here in Bybit. Most platforms are going to let you do sub accounts. This sub account should be good to go. It's just a little bit of a pain to switch accounts. I did put $100 into this account. I just probably need to check where I put it. It's $94 is in there. It's probably in the spot wallet. So I need to probably move that across to the derivatives wallet. Where's my wallets? Assets. Let's go manage that asset. Oh no, I was smart enough to put in derivatives. Okay, cool. So we are right to trade derivatives on this sub account. I hated how it puts you to this portal. No, I don't want to go to a portal. Just show me the trades. Okay, don't give me pop-ups. I know enough of what I'm doing to get into trouble, alright? Well, that trade that I had is already come back to... Now it's -$6 instead of -$20. That's a positive. Now, if you're wondering, I did say in our Discord there. Oh, by the way, guys, why do I have many accounts? I got 2 accounts, and I'll explain why in just a second. Just let me know. Is that music too loud? I can turn it down. Just let me know. Why do we have 2 accounts? All right. Right now, I am in a big trade. What I like to do, I don't like to be bored. Being a bored trader sucks, right? And quite often, because we're bored, we find ourselves entering trades we really should not be entering. You know? shit, I'm bored. I want to be in a trade. I want to be making money. I'm only excited when I'm either making money or losing money. When you trade like that, you're going to be losing more money than you make. That's plain and simple. So to counter that, my rule is I'm only trading with my bias, my personal bias in Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin's bearish, I'm only trading bearish. And if Bitcoin's bullish, I'm only trading bullish on all the coins. That's thing number one. Well, I've got 5 rules, but this is more like not so much a rule, but just a way, a practice. If I have a large trade on a high time frame on Bitcoin, I can stay in this large trade here. So when price comes back down to this low, this lowest of the low point, picks it up, and I can then ride this trade, if I'm patient enough, all the way to the top of the structure here. So I'll set my take profit all the way to the top of the structure and ride it all the way there for a huge 9 risk to reward ratio. But while I'm in this, I can go into my sub account and I can create more long trades, and I can make those trades shorter. I'm safe. I've already made money in my big one here, so I can pick off a few of the key points and take bullish longs. That's why I have sub accounts, and those ones are short trades. They're in, they're out, they're in, they're out. I'm targeting 3-to-1 return on risk to reward ratio. 3-to-1 risk to reward. And if I can't get 3-to-1 on the next the next, what would you call it, demand zone, then I'm looking for a different trade. That's how I work. Its sub accounts are so easy to create. It took seconds to create it. All you gotta do is then send some crypto to your new wallet, and all of a sudden you can take these way less risky, massive trades. Like the higher you go in the time frame, the less risky your trade. A lot of us are looking at these 15-minute charts thinking we're going to make money off these. No, look at the higher time frame. It's so much more predictable. So much more predictable. And you should only be trading in the 15-minute time frame in the direction your higher time frame trades are going. People often look at what we do with supply and demand trading and they're like, how did you know that you were going to get that swing there? How did you know exactly where to put your trade and exactly where to put your stop? It's because we got these high time frame trades and we're looking in the low time frames for entry points, which honestly is probably what I should have done today. But I was asleep. I didn't wake up in time today. I felt like I took some sort of sleeping drug, but I didn't. It was just COVID. But then when I woke up, this was just coming down into this trade, and I didn't get a chance to get up, make my coffee, and sit in front of my PC to take the trade off and then watch it come into this zone. If I had watched it come into this zone, I could have got a better trade. And I can do that on my sub account. So what we're going to do now is just watch. This could take a little while. We'll look at some other coins in the meantime. But we're just going to watch this price action here. And when we see a bullish move up on the 15-minute chart, then we'll know where the order block is. And we'll create a new long from there. If we see price coming through and just completely break through here, well, that's fine. I mean, it's not fine. I'll lose my stop. But it'll be fine because I know exactly where price is going. And I've already got a trade lined up there. If we see price come up with a bullish move, and I do get in another trade, the first thing I'm going to be doing is setting this trade here to break even. So moving my stop to my entry point so that I don't lose this trade. That's the first thing I'm going to be doing. Protecting my profits. It looks like we found something here. It looks like we found a turnaround point here. We haven't created a new low. We haven't broken that structure there. It's evens. And from what I understand about evens are not a break. So we could be looking good there. If you're playing along at home and you got some questions, fire away. If you got some coins you want me to look at, fire away as well. And if you lost your stops today, I'm sorry, but I did tell you. Having said that, I could also lose my stops. But I did tell you, I did mention it. Stops are here and stops are here. And smart money hasn't played around in a while. Smart money is hungry. Think about how you feel when you haven't been able to trade for a while. Think about how those guys with big bags feel when they're looking to enter and the market's in turmoil and they don't know what's going on. From my experience with smart money, sometimes I've seen these wick hunts from here just bounce off into the stratosphere. So that's what we're hoping for today. Thanks, Jay Harv. Thank you for following. Hope you find these useful. Hope I can teach you something. Hope you can teach me something. But I appreciate everybody who's watching. I appreciate the follows. I am trying to build this channel up, and this is free info. You get to see what I've paid thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars for in terms of training. You get to see me implement it. Maybe not always 100%, but trading can be messy. It's not a perfectionist game. And you get to see that for free. So thank you very much. As I've said to people, I'm not here for you though. I'm here for me, because this keeps me accountable. Speaking of accountability, let's get this trade into the book. I know I have it here somewhere. Let's make sure it's in my book. Alright, this trade was at 16,168. Where are we? Entry. Why wasn't it in the book? It should have been in the book. Alright, you know what? Let's clear these trades out we didn't take. And let's pop this one in. Because those trades, to my eyes, those trades are now invalid. And they're not staying in there. They didn't get triggered. The market has changed. My sentiment has changed. They're gone. I am going to look at future trades today about what could happen next. Leverage is 25. We're doing a long today. Stop loss ratio on this bad boy, 0.84. Not great. What do I mean by not great? Well, you got to put more money into your margin when you're doing stop losses under 1%. From experience. I don't know. I always do better when I use less margin. Maybe that's just a red herring. Risk will be 5%. So that should be $25 risk. Yep. Entry point. Take profit. That's my take profit one, by the way. Once I start seeing some positive results from this trade, we're going to move that take profit up. And we're going to move that stop up. This is in market. Finally, after 3 days, we have a decent trade. I'm excited, but not too excited. Because trading is all about managing those emotions. I need to be treating this $25 as if it's $25,000. That's my goal. If you guys don't mind, I'll go over my rules next. I seem to do that every time I go live. Where is... You know, I've been using Excel my whole life. There it is. And I still can't find stuff. We're doing borders along all of these. There we go. Lovely. And my risk is always 5, so I may as well just pop that down. And my cost and my risk are always there. So I may as well pull those down for future trades. Alright. If you guys want this Excel sheet, I might make this Excel sheet available for everyone who watches me on Twitch if you want to use it. But I didn't get this myself. I got this from someone else and sort of made it my own. What I mean by making my own is I didn't make it my own. Like, I just added a few things and called it my own. But I did get it from a lovely trader from my own, not my own, from the trading group that I'm a part of. The trading group that I'm a part of, which is Onyx Crypto, which is a fantastic little community where we work together to learn how to trade. We share our charts and we banter and look and help each other out. So, okay, we have a long currently on the market. I had about 4 or 5 different alerts just twig off in the past 20 minutes, so we can take a look at some of those. I want to keep this here so we can watch that, but looking pretty good. We have had a bullish move, but I think there's more structure to come. Now, if you are trading like me, if I like to trade on the 1 hour, 4 hour, and 8 hour. What am I trying to say? Actually, my preference is 4 hour, 1 hour, and 15 minute. Before I make my trades, I look at the daily and I look at the 8 hour to get a good view of where the market is. And you guys have seen me create my lines throughout the middle of the chart so that we know if we're in premium or discount prices. You've seen that, and you'll see it again. But when I'm actually looking at my price action in a trade, I like to be on the 15 minute. Now, if you trade on the 8 hour and the 4 hour, I wouldn't recommend you go down any lower than the 15 minute. You're just asking for trouble, in my opinion. If you are a 1 minute and 5 minute trader, well, my hat goes off to you, because that's some ballsy trading in my opinion. I think we're going to see some price action continue along here. I'm waiting for a bullish move up. If you get a bullish move down, well, I'm automatically out because my stops will get hit. All right, let's leave this one open. Let's move over to some ETH. I'm going to put my trade platform there, and we'll move over to ETH. I know my alerts came off. I didn't enter this trade. Oh, and I know why. I think ETH has a way to go down. Look at that. Look at those stops that got taken there. Even lows here. Bang. Smart money was hungry. You know what also happened? We had a trend line form here. Do you guys know what happens when there's a trend line? I love trend lines. I love them. Not because I like to make a trade on a trend line, because that means money's coming in. Sorry to all the retailers who trade on trend lines. I'm so sorry. When the trend lines come up, retailers look at the chart and they see this forming. And they go, look, there's a trend line. We've hit it once. We hit it twice. I'm going to make my trade there. I'm going to do a long right here and right here. Hopefully those people who did longs were able to get out. Because those that weren't able to get out up here, those who thought ETH was going higher, smart money just took your stops and you're wondering why. I hope you see this video. I hope you see this video, because those stops, those are sells. And smart money wanted to buy in. And that's what happened here. Alright, we're already in profit of about 3% for Bitcoin. It could go the wrong way. I do like that structure though. I like to see a good reaction off my zone. That's a positive sign. But it could go the other way, so we're going to continue watching. Alright, one sec. One sec, guys. Now, for ETH, I had this plan here to take this particular trade here, but I am going to watch this price action because we could see a price come through. We could see a price come through. I'd prefer to take it down here, so we'll see what happens. We'll see where this leaves us. How are we doing on Bitcoin? in my sub account. And I'm watching on my phone. No wonder the trade's not there. I was wondering where it went. Okay, watching this Bitcoin trade here. Now for ETH, I was expecting this to hit down here. It still could. But I'm hoping it comes down to here. I'm hoping it comes down to here. This is the zone that I'm really looking for ETH. Below that discount zone. Because we made it this far, taking all those stops down there, the price action here will determine what happens. I'm just going to get rid of this fib. So that was the 50% retracement zone, and down here is the 60 to 70% where I really want. So we haven't got that trade on. That trade is not on. But because if I had that trade on, that'd pretty much be doubling down on the trade that I have right here. There is no point having two on. There's no point having two trades on. I'm already risking enough on Bitcoin. So we're going to wait. We're going to wait and see what happens. But Nick's already telling me for my Bitcoin trade, he's already telling me that because it's in this halfway zone here, even though it's in the discount zone, even though it's in a discount zone compared to up there, it's still in a 50% zone here. So Nick, my coach, he's still waiting. He's still waiting for a better price, and I might be with him on that one. So it might be time to actually cancel this trade. Let me go back. I think we go further to fall. I think we do. Yeah, that trade's cancelled. So I didn't get stopped out, but I've cancelled that trade. And let's see if the price comes back down to where we want it to. Because I'm seeing these stops going to get taken out right here. And because this price has come down through that zone, that price is now mitigated. That the order block is mitigated. So that was a $5 loss. Where to next? Well, I'm looking at this area here. That's the zone I'm interested in. Now, some of the other coins that were interesting yesterday, because I was bearish on Bitcoin, I did try to get into a short. What was it on? I think maybe it was XRP. That would have been good. Didn't trigger though. Wasn't XRP. What was it? Matic? Wasn't Matic? Was it OP? Nope. Was it GM? Oh man, there's some lovely trades coming back. Coming up. XRP maybe. No. What was it? What was it? I'll have to look through my video to see. Maybe it was AVAX. No, it wasn't AVAX. I'll have to look through my video to figure out what it was. But it wouldn't matter. Price has moved too far now. I was waiting for the price to come up a little bit more for it. Solana maybe? It was Solana. I was hoping to see price come back up a little bit so I could pick up that short. That would have been fantastic. But price didn't come back up. This would have been the point to get in. That's too bad. Alright, Bitcoin, where are you going? We are just waiting for those stops to get taken. Alright, coffee's done. Yeah, now if you're in a trade and you don't like this price action, never feel bad about exiting your trade. It's okay. It's perfectly fine. So, a little bit more information about that trade that we just got out of. Just looking at my coach's response. First problem was trading at this 50%, even though it's in the discounted zone. We're still trading at 50% in the discount, so that's not a good start. The discount wasn't quite enough there. We're looking for a deeper discount. Because there was such a big price drop, we needed to drop further before we're interested, because up here is a big supply zone that the price will struggle to get through. Fair enough. Fair enough. And just looking at a 1 hour, let's get rid of some of this action here and take a look at this zone here. Well, they're gone too. All those stops are gone. So what we're looking for is we're looking for price to come back down into this highly retraced discount zone, and from there we're taking a long right here. And how we get this long is we're taking 50% of this zone right here. That will be the entry point. Where are we going to take this to? I reckon we take it to there. For a 4 risk to reward ratio. Stops below this point here I just give myself a bit more room there. I think that's a good trade. We've got shorts up here, so there's liquidity up there. It's a fair call from this supply zone here, because there will be a lot of people wanting to sell at that price for sure after such a big drop. So we're looking for price to come back down here. So really, looking at this particular trade that I jumped in on, it didn't follow rule number 2. So let's go over rules. Rule number 1. Rule number 1, shorts at premium prices, longs at discounted prices. It was a discounted price. It was within the discounted price. So it did satisfy rule number 1. Rule number 2, never trade at 50%. It did not satisfy that rule. Alright. Fair enough. Rule number 3, must target the next order block and be able to get a 3 risk to reward ratio. Well, it did satisfy that. Rule number 4, stop loss was 25% of the order block, and it was set to where if it's wrong, my bias would have been wrong. That was true. If that was wrong, this would have been the wrong trade, and I could have picked it up here. So that was true. Rule number 5, we don't go against Bitcoin bias. Well, this is Bitcoin, so I wasn't going against my own Bitcoin bias. So it satisfied rule number 5. It didn't satisfy don't trade at 50%. So let that be a lesson to me. Let that be a lesson to anyone watching. Don't trade at 50%. I had mapped out 50% of the long-term range. The longer-term range since November 22nd. However, this new price structure that we had for this whole week, it was 50% of that range. So we're going to wait for that to come back down, and we're going to pick up a nice long from here. Just going to give myself more risk to reward. And I'm going to keep hounding these rules upon myself until I learn to follow them intuitively. So the question for ETH is, do we take this trade here for ETH that could be coming up? Because I think if Bitcoin hits its lowest point here and picks up my trade from the bottom, I think ETH will hit this point here, which is in the 50% discount zone. It could come down a little bit lower for sure. So both of these two trades here will be lovely. So I'll be watching these areas. I'm not going to put a trade on. I'm going to watch these areas, and I'm going to wait until we get the price action confirming which way we're going. What I am going to do is move over to my different account. Where are we? Accounts. Switch my account to my main. Alright, in my main account here. As you can see, all trades are off. While we wait and see what's happening here on Bitcoin. Whoops. Where do you guys think it's going to head? Whoops, come on, come back. What are we going to see here? I'm pretty sure we're going to see cheaper prices. I think we might need to add a rule number 6. Rule number 6. No huge supply. No big supply or demand directly above or below trade. I reckon that's a good rule. No big supply demand directly above or below trade. Meaning, if we've just had a big dip and we have a big demand, big supply zone right here, we don't want to take a trade leading directly up into it from just one step above. Because if there is a reaction, it's not going to go above here. It's going to hit that, the bottom of that, and it's going to struggle. Meaning we're not going to be able to get the profit that we're after. I reckon that's a good new rule. Alright, let's add that into my... my screen. Give me one sec, guys. Let's make a new rule. Rule number 6. Just gotta edit this. Rule numero 6. Let's test that out. Oh, I need to set a hotkey. Don't mind me while I'm just editing my scene. Rule number 5. Rule number 6. Alt 6. Alt 6. Alright. Rule number 6. New rule. Rule number 6. No big supply demand directly above or below my trade. Rule number 6. Alright. That's 6 rules. I'm looking to you guys to hold me accountable. Because I almost made a big mistake there, guys. It was nearly perfect except for one big glaring issue. Alright, we're going to go over those rules again, just to get them in my head, alright? Rule number 1. Shorts at premium prices. Longs at discounted prices. Rule number 2. Never trade at 50% of the range. And yep, that trade that I wanted to put on this morning, that was 50% of the range. I need some sort of a sound effect for when I mess up. Rule number 3. Targeting the next OB. Can I get a 3 risk to reward ratio? If not interested. Rule number 4. Stop loss needs to be 25% of the OB I'm using. And it should be set to where if I'm wrong, the whole trade is wrong. Not to the point where if I'm wrong, it can wick me out and then follow my trade. Alright. Rule number 5. We don't go against the Bitcoin bias. Well, that was easy in this trade because this was Bitcoin. And that was my bias. And new rule. Rule number 6. No big supply or demand directly above or below my trade. Meaning if there's a big supply zone here after a massive drop, there's going to be people who want to get their orders filled at this zone. If I take a long here, it's only going to get to this zone and struggle. It's not going to shoot right through. So that's my new rules. Those are the rules I'm going to follow. And we're going to see some much better results. As of today, we've lost $5. We lost about, what, that's 20% of my stop loss as of this morning. 20% of one of my stop losses. Not a huge loss. Nothing to worry about. Even if I did lose the full amount, it's only 5% of my entire deposit. So we're doing risk managed trades here. Only risking 5% at a time. So that would mean that my total account size is now 495. Whoops, for my next one. $495. All right. Well, I may as well get these other trade ideas in and ready to go. That way I won't need to put them in my sheet when I do get here. So I am looking to take a Bitcoin long at this point here. I'll pop that in. Risk percentage is 1.84%. $1.84. Okay. Leverage will be 25. We'll be taking a long, and we'll be doing this on Bitcoin. Take profit. Stop. Okay. The other trade I'll be looking at, but not necessarily taking. Well, there is a trade I want to take, and that's this one right here. The bottom of the structure, ETH. So we'll be taking this one for sure. ETH 25. Long. I will put the others too, just because I won't put them in there because I haven't taken them, and we might not take them at those exact prices, so they won't go in just yet. This is a 1.93 risk stop loss ratio. So is that 1.93? Was it 1.93? All right. That one's in. Now, the next trade that I will look at making is going to be this one right here. It is a solid trade. It's not as much of a discount as the bottom, but for ETH, I don't think we're going to hit that bottom. I think we're going to come across here. And the reason why I think that is because if we look at our fib, it already is a 60 to 70% retracement. I don't think we're going to get much lower than this one here. So that one's going in my book too. And then I'll consider whether or not that one's going to go into Bybit while I'm off relaxing, chilling out my day. Not much I can do really. Stuck at home with COVID. Stop loss percentage on that one is 1.64. Now all I do is I put this number in, 1.64, and it tells me exactly how much my order cost should be. How cool is that? Alright, that one I want to, wait, what have we got in on Bybit? Nothing, I think. No active trades. Well, is that the right account first? Everyone Assassin, sub account. Main account. Oh, I've got 2 different sub accounts. Okay, geez. Alright, this is the one I want. So I've got those bottom of the chart orders in, which is great. I just want to get this ETH one in. So I'll pop this one in. Because oh no, I'm going to be home all day. You know what? I'm going to not even worry about popping that one in. I'm going to set my alarm for when the price comes down into there. I'm going to watch it. We're going to watch that price come in, and we're going to look for that that price structure I was talking about. We're going to look for it coming down here. We're going to look for a reaction. Then we're going to look for a retest. So let's do that again. Price action that we're looking for will be coming down in a range. Looking for a reaction, retest, and we'll pick up our trade, and then we're looking for that. That's what we're looking for. So I'm going to wait and see. I'm going to see what happens when I wait and see, and I don't just jump in. I'm just going to use my patience. That's what we're looking for here too. Looking for a range, looking for a breakout, looking for a retest, and then a boom up to there. That's what we're looking for. And that's what I'm going to wait for. Alright. So, I'm going to set my alarm for here as well. So we have price on ETH that we're waiting for. We have price on Bitcoin that we're waiting for. Take a look at some altcoins while I'm here. BNB was one of interest lately. Oh, ouch. Didn't quite hit those zones that I was looking for before I took a short on BNB. It's nearing them there, and it could still make it up there. Let's see what happens. OPU. Nasty. Very nasty. Shot right through that paper trade I would have made. Oh, and I see why too. Look at that. That is exactly 50% of the structure. Yeah. So really, I need to be breaking down my price structure even further. That's what this comes down to. The rules work. But I need to be looking at the price structure of the week, not just the month. All right. Looking at OPU. There are two possible places to take a long for OPU. Oh, sorry, it's not OPU, for OP. There are two possible places to take a long. And I don't like this first place that I've pulled here because it doesn't match with my rule number 6. My new rule. No big supply and demand directly above or below. And look, there is a huge big demand zone right below where I was attempting to make that trade. So that is not a good trade. I'm going to do a paper trade for this one, but I'm going to leave this here. If I was more of a gambling man, which I'm not, this is where I'd be putting my OP. The reason why I'm not putting this trade on is because I already have a trade planned for Bitcoin in a similar zone. I already have a trade planned for ETH in a similar zone. There's no point me adding in any more risk. There is no point. But looking at this price action for OP, yeah, that's a pretty good spot. I'm going to keep this window open so we can see that come in and see if that actually works. While we're here, let's take a look at Solana. That's the one where I didn't quite get my entry triggered. I did call it, but I didn't get my entry triggered. And that would have been a great trade because it's at 50%. It was at the top 50% of the range. So that was a heavily premium price. That would have been great. But my trade was a little bit too late. If I had have seen this price action, I could have got in and I could have got triggered right there. That would have been fantastic. Let's take a look at Chili's. Oh, yikes. That looks nasty. But wait a minute. Wait a minute. We are now well into discounted prices. Oh, that's tempting. That's really, really tempting. Let's see if we can zoom out a little bit on Chili's. I don't think we have a lot of data on Chili's. Oh, wow. Okay, we got a little ways to go. That is not tempting at all. It was tempting until you zoom out. Oh dear. Yeah, Chili's would have been great to get in on a short up here, but at the moment this is a no-go zone for me. It's going to have to get below, and I'll show you where I'm going to be trying to get below. Where's my ruler? If we go from the bottom of this just to the midway, for me to be interested in any kind of Chili's action, it's going to have to get below this line. So I can take a long. If Chili's goes up above the line, that yellow line up there, I may take a short. But where it's in now, it's neither discounted or premium. So I'm going to skip Chili's. Let's take a look at Matic. I had a lot of trade ideas for Matic. Knowing what I know now, I'm not too crash hot on it though. Having applied my new rule number 6, I'm not too crash hot on Chili's. Even though that line up there is the top of the premium prices, really, it's still in premium prices. It's just premium. So right now for Matic, we are in slightly discounted premium prices. It's still got to fall below here. So in my view, Matic is probably prime, not for a long, but potentially a short. But then again, it's not a trade I'm interested in right now. Well, is it? I am bearish on Bitcoin, but Bitcoin I think has a little ways to fall before I'm bullish again. So potentially we could be looking at a short for Matic. We've had even highs. It's not even worth looking at though. Until I know until I know exactly where Bitcoin's heading, it's not something I really want to be looking at. It would have been, but it hasn't reacted the same way that ETH has reacted, which is surprising. Haven't had a huge big drop off on Matic. Interesting. So for Matic, for me to be interested in a short, I'm going to wait for it to head up to this area here, the premium prices. And to take a long, it's going to have to drop below this point here for me to get discounted prices. What else we got? Take a look at BNB. I had a few ideas on BNB. I do not want to be taking that long that's in the midway section there. I think BNB has a long way it could fall. It's got a lot of stops to take. It's taken these stops out, they're gone. But they were there for historical purposes only. Being in the top of the range, it's good for a short, but not right now because it's just past that 50% of the range. I was waiting for a higher price to short those out. I don't think they're going to hit. That's what I was looking for. Alright, look at GMT. Okay. Wow, okay. Let's just... GMT doesn't look good. I'd love to say let's take a long, but my god. We're just stepping all the way to zero for GMT. We're in discounted prices. And this is definitely a long that I had anticipated before, but it's not necessarily something I'm interested in now because Bitcoin, I think, has another step to go. And if Bitcoin steps down, it looks like GMT might have a new structure to form. That's looking awful. That is definitely not something I'm looking to trade. Unless prices were up here and I could take a short, because that is a huge supply zone there. Yeah, that's massive. Coming off this area here. But where it's at, it's looking bearish as hell. I am going to avoid that like the plague. AVAX. Just let me get rid of some of these lines here. And don't need these trades here anymore. That's all old news. Where are we with AVAX? Haven't looked at AVAX in a while. Alright, so from July we are looking like we are in discounted prices. Let's have a look at what sort of discount price we're in. The line is across here for discounts. This is an interesting one, actually. Let's turn music down. Damn, that's intense. Alright. Since we are in discounted prices for AVAX, this is something I would definitely look at as soon as we see Bitcoin turn around. If we are still in this area, I might be interested in this. potential long position here. Problem is that that doesn't necessarily match my new rule number 6. Oops. We have a supply zone here. A recent big supply zone. Meaning, if I take this trade here, the only reasonable place I could take it up to would be this zone here. And if we did that, we're not going to get my 3 times. Oh, just. I mean, that's at the bottom of the range, heavily discounted prices. But there's been this massive big drop here. I think we've got new structure to form on AVAX. It's just, yeah, that particular supply zone there is what is troubling me there. I'm going to leave that on as a potential idea. I'm going to get some feedback of this idea from my coach, just to confirm that this is not a great trade. Just bear with me, guys. So I'm just getting some feedback from my coach. I'm not sure about that one. Because it doesn't adhere to my rule number 6. No big supply demand made directly above the trade. So there's a big supply zone there. And even though it's a 3-to-1 risk to reward ratio of 3, and I could make it, we are going to struggle to get above that. So I'm just getting a confirmation with him that would that be a good or a bad idea. So I'm not sure, but it is an idea. I'm going to leave it on there so we can see how that eventuates today, because today's looking exciting. We got some decent movement today. For those of you who had just caught on, I woke up to my trade. I originally had a trade here, and I woke up to that trade getting triggered in. I watched as the price came back down into my zone and triggered my trade in. I watched the price action here. I posted it into my trading group. My coach said it wasn't a great idea, it wasn't a great trade. There was another guy in our trading group in the same trade. He said it wasn't a great trade. He explained why, and I realized that it broke my rule. It broke my rule. Which is why I'm streaming my trades. It broke my rule number 2. It broke rule number 2. Rule number 2 is never trade at 50% of the range. My mistake was not drawing the range out. Not drawing the recent range out. I was looking at this chart from a higher time frame, which you need to do. You absolutely need to look at charts from a higher time frame. And we've drawn out our levels here, our areas of discount. So this middle bar being the line of discount to premium. Premium prices up here, discounted prices up here. What I didn't do, and what I should have done, and what I will do from now on, is go further in. Look at my days here. From the 16th of November and to today, this was the range. And because this was the range, I needed more detail on my discount zone. This is 50% of the zone, and according to rule number 2, I don't trade at 50% of the zone. So I broke my rule, I made a mistake, but I got out. I sold my trade at market I lost $5. I lost 20% of my stop loss. And looking at this price action, I think it was a good decision, because we haven't seen a strong reaction off this level. When we don't see a strong reaction, I start to get a bit worried. I start to, because that's what I'm looking for. If you look at my example line here of what I want to see in my trade, I want to see price come down and react strongly off it on the 15-minute candles. So that's what I'm looking for. Alright, what I might do is stop the stream for now, go have some lunch, go chill out for a while, and let's see how price reacts for the rest of the day. And if I do see some price movement, if my trades get picked up, I'm going to come back and stream again. But for now, I think that's going to be it from me, and I should probably see you guys later.